Howdy, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Hope y'all are doing all right today. So, there's a news story that, keeps cropping up in my feed on various social media websites, and I see different takes on it, and it's it really bothers and concerns me in a lot of ways, both in the in the present, in the short-term future, and then a little further out, long-term impacts. I think that there's going to be a lot of unforeseen consequences come from certain decisions that are being made right now by multiple airlines in the FAA, where in some cases they are out and out stating that diversity is the most important thing when it comes to the hiring process and not the qualifications of the pilot to handle the type of aircraft that they're going to be handling. A buddy of mine is working on getting his commercial pilot's license. I think he's got his instrument rating for civil aviation right now. I'm not 100% sure, but he laid out and explained the career path as far as how you get into commercial aviation, whether you are wanting to fly for a cargo airline or a commercial airline, a passenger airline, whatever it is. He kind of laid out the path. You've got to log enough flight hours to qualify for your commercial license. You've got to get tested on numerous types of aircraft. If you have a piston engine plane that's a single prop and you want to fly a turboprop single engine, you've got to get tested out on that. When you go from single to dual engines, you've got to get tested out on that. Same for piston and turboprop, and then also for jet. And you've also got to qualify on all the when you get into commercial aviation, you've got to qualify on all the aircraft types you're going to fly. So if you go to work for an airline and they fly Boeing and Airbus, and they fly 2 or 3 different types of each, 737, 757, 787, whatever, you've got to qualify on all those aircraft and be familiar with all the different generations of those aircraft that you might end up flying in that airline. So you're certified quite a bit to get there, and all your credentials are based on good flight hours, no near misses that were your fault, and handling any in cockpit procedures properly, and all that's judged, and then also just the amount of flight hours that you get. I don't think that it's fair to the flying public or the general public to have anything but safety be the highest priority for airlines, for their qualifications, for their certifications by the government, for what the government considers a up to standard pilot, for what airlines consider what is an up to standard pilot. Personally, I think that long term, and this is not against anybody, I'm not judging anybody based on their skin color. You can have people that are from anywhere that look like whatever that might be fantastic pilots, and I know some of them. So before anybody wants to throw the racist card, there's that. But what I personally hope doesn't happen, but I bet will happen within the next 5 years, there will be an accident that the investigation will reveal mishandling of the situation or the aircraft by someone whose qualifications were not up to par to be in that cockpit on that specific airplane on that specific day in the role that they were in. Meaning you can have an unqualified pilot who's getting hours for their certification be in the co-pilot seat, or have a far more seasoned captain on the flight deck who knows all the procedures by heart. And even if this person, they're learning, you're going to make mistakes when you learn. Even if this person makes a mistake, they got someone there to catch them. That's what I'm getting at. They might be a fantastic pilot. They just might not be the best pilot on this aircraft. If they don't know what the buttons do, and they don't know how the automation and all the systems work together, they may not be able to make the best decisions, or their decisions might take too long. So that's my prediction. And then there's going to be, of course, huge backlash if nothing changes about the current hiring practices and priorities of the FAA and multiple large commercial airline companies. That's my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I hope nothing bad happens. I do know that the number of annual near miss reports in commercial aviation have actually gone up in recent years, which I don't know if that's due to, Boeing had some quality concerns, put mildly. I'm sure that factors into some of them too. And Boeing, with their 787 MAX, when they first released it with the upgraded engines, they actually did not train the pilots how to properly handle that plane in all circumstances, so that actually resulted in problems too. So I'm not blaming just pilots. There's plenty of blame to go around, but people that are in charge of one of the most safest forms of travel in the world, and especially in America presently, definitely need to continue to take their jobs seriously and realize that the only way that they got to be as safe as they are per traveled mile was by constantly being vigilant and looking for ways to improve safety. And every time that there was an accident, steps were always, the governing bodies in aviation always attempted to put safeguards in place or fixes in place to make sure that the same accident couldn't occur again. Learn from your mistakes, and all those lessons are near misses and plane crashes. So I hope we don't forget the things that we have learned in the favor of different hiring practices. It's already been proven how airlines not being choosy about who they put in what cockpit can cause accidents or near misses. So I don't want to see that happen again, and I don't want the backlash from that to happen, but I do think that they need to be held accountable, especially before it's too late. So, and again, that's my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. If anybody is qualified to fly the aircraft, I want to, whoever they are, whatever they look like, wherever they're from, whatever language is their native tongue, I want them to be able to get a good job in aviation if that's the career that they've chosen to follow. And I wish all those pilots nothing but safe and happy, incident-free, drama-free flying. But I don't think that that's going to continue to be the case. But that's my opinion. Leave yours in the comment section, and I will catch y'all next time.